me heavy. That kind of love makes me dream and shake and love and cry all night. And I love you. That kind of love makes me dream when life is growing. Oh, a heavy dream. Oh, ice the soul when the trail is growing cold. That kind of love makes me shake and love and cry. And I ain't lying. That kind of love makes me dream of the one kind of love that knows not days as sweet brains. So crying faith and the wake to shake the door. That kind of love makes me shake.
Welcome to Keep Me Alive. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. No, I got it now. Do I got it now? Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
Beverly is taking on a role tonight that she hasn't taken yet on the show, and I'm very excited for this because it's been a long time that we've talked about you being a guest on the show.
Yeah, super long.
So formally, welcome to Keep Me Alive. It's nice to have you on as a guest.
Yes.
And I can do the. Where's the? Oh, that's not it. It's this one. Okay. I don't have my buttons marked. That was the problem there.
Hey,
Yeah,
they
and
were
I'm-
fun. Whatever they were, I liked them.
I'm getting ready to get a new mixer here soon, and there's like a bank of 8 of those, but I'm going to have to label them because I'm not going to know what's what.
Oh yeah, you'll forget.
So Beverly's real name is not Beverly. It should be because it's funny, especially with the last name of Trash. I don't know anybody the last name of Trash, but it's actually not even Roth anymore, technically.
It's not within the writing world. It will remain Roth because I've already published things under that name. But
Is Dale okay with this?
he
decision?
I mean, yes, but I mean, at first he was like, oh, he's like, so when you publish your novel, it won't be Gordon. I was like, well, no, because like this is the right, it's a whole like brand that you kind of do when you're.
Well, just make sure that the single men know that you are actually attached.
The picture of me can just be like.
There, yeah. I mean, something like that. Just put it out there,
Yes.
So,
well,
so
you thank your people in your acknowledgments. You thank, you're like, and thank you to my husband. Blah, blah, blah.
when you accept your what's the literary award?
I mean, there are several. Like it's the Pulitzer is like probably the biggest.
So when you get that, when you go up on stage for that, just that's you got to make sure that it's like writing vows, I guess. You got to make sure you have a list of who you thank.
Oh yeah, and you know how I do that.
Hey, you guys did good. We'll talk about that in a little while.
Pages. Yes.
We'll talk about that in a little while. That was awesome. So, for those of you that don't know, Beverly was and Dale were a huge part of the I guess the startup of this, whatever I do here, like this show. And we've been through several different interviews together. Dale's been on the show as a guest a few times, more than once. And I think every time you're on as a co-host, I was like, when is the book going to be done? When can you be on as a guest? You know?
And now it's here. Well, I mean, it's not here, but it's like
It's
in the wheels. You know, it's
it's yeah,
coming.
we've started churning the gears, or I don't know, something's going on. Yeah.
I
But
mean, I'm done with my part of it, other than like promotion and stuff. Like I am done writing, I'm done line editing, I'm done with all the things. So now it's
so
in
you have
their
to like
hands. So.
submit that to like the publisher or something, right? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I mean, you can submit straight to publishers if they're smaller publishers, or you can submit to agents. So I did just submit to agents first, and got a lot of interest, but unfortunately nobody was like, "Hey, I'm ready to take this on," because there's what's considered a quiet novel, and so it's like a lot of introspective stuff, a lot of internal stuff. And I mean, right now the market, you know how it is. None of us have an attention span anymore.
I
We
don't write
want
books,
like
so I don't know.
Oh,
I
well,
don't
I
write
mean,
books.
but anything, even like movies and shows, like people have a hard time sitting through an entire movie. And
What?
so
And there's
for
so because there's so many of them, I guess, right? There's just
yeah,
so
there's
many
so
people that do
many,
it.
and we're so like swarmed with stuff. And like you look at TikTok and all those things, everything's like what 10 seconds long. And so
Yeah.
for a book to like be sell worthy to a lot of agents, it has to have a lot going on. And so this was a lot like slower. And so one agent, oh my gosh, she was so sweet, and she was like, "I love this so much." She's like, "But for a debut, it's going to be a hard sell," and she's trying to make money. And so it is
Yeah.
a smaller press that took it on, and smaller presses are more flexible because it can be. They're not, it's not like their butts riding on like chopping blocks of like making money. And so
And they're not
I mean,
pressing you for
obviously
another
they,
one. Yeah. They're not pressing you
yeah,
for
I
like
mean, and
another one
they and you,
immediately. Yeah.
yes, and usually it's like you have to you sign a book deal with like a giant publisher. You're signing a 2 book deal, and yeah, there's a time limit, and you get an advance of money, and typically it's a decent amount, but you have to like you don't get any more money until you've made that money back. So
That's interesting. Okay, so
yeah.
when I don't read books anymore. I'd like to get back to it because it was enjoyable. But I read a lot of James Patterson. I read
Oh yeah,
a little bit of
he's the
Nicholas Sparks.
wealthiest writer there is.
He's the man. But the stuff is great though. Like it's the chapters are like 4 pages long, and it's you can yeah, I'll put this down after this chapter, but you can't. You just
Yeah.
so
Have
like
you read his like Mike? He has this new line of books that is kind of like to fit in with like how we all are with our attention span. They're not called like
mm-mm.
micro, but they're a lot short. Like they're definitely they're shorter than novella, and they're just these really short. Like they're
Yeah,
not a
like
short story, but they're like he's like, hey, I get. And he's really good at like pumping out like book after book after book too.
yeah, oh yeah, like he's just got it like a library of things that he's already has written in his head, and I don't know,
Yeah,
it's crazy. But
but
yeah,
he is the wealthiest writer alive.
I think what you're talking about is he has his books. There's like 3 stories in them. Is that what you're talking
Maybe
about?
and
Like
they're
there's three.
small and yeah, and they're even
Yeah,
like they're really small to carry
I've
and
read through them,
yeah.
but it's like it's not the same as reading like Along Came a Spider, for example.
Yes,
Became a
my mom
movie.
and my
Like
grandpa were obsessed with James Patterson.
that.
I used to read a lot of Dean Koontz, and it was funny. We all three of us were
Yes,
reading
him.
Dean Koontz.
I
Yeah,
read him
and
and a little bit of Nicholas Sparks here and there. Just when he had, I don't read the sappy stuff, but
because
just
then
the
he wrote The Notebook, right?
yes. Hmm.
Yeah, okay. And I've not read The Notebook, but I know that like we love actually the book I'm reading right now. I have a chapter left. It's one of those ones where I keep putting like I have so much to do and you put it down and I can't stop. And so this
Yeah.
is one that's really and so my next thing that I'm writing is more in the thriller mystery genre, and it's a different type of writing. Oh yeah, because you have to like think, okay, not only am I writing a story, here's the human element, but I need people to try to figure out clues, and you don't want to be
Mhm.
obvious with dropping clues. And yeah.
That's what James Patterson does the best of too, because you never know. Like you think you might know. It's like just like watching like a movie like that, but you think who it is or who's doing what, and you're just thrown completely off base at the end. That's what he does at the best. But it just seems so easy because he just pumps these books out left and right. He does series of different. It's crazy.
And
How he
it's
does it.
never so far left field that you're like, oh man, like where did
Mhm.
that like you're not like that doesn't make any sense. You're like, oh, it does make sense.
For
But
sure, yeah.
I really thought it was this way. Yeah, that is a craft technique that, he's been writing for gosh, what, 30 something years?
Hey, Tracy's in the chat. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
Hey.
He's been on the thing for I don't think you met Tracy like in person or even
Not in
on the
person.
show, but yeah, she's also she's a friend and a co-host. I'll say hey.
Yes, because I know that Dale knows her and like very well.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's not knows her, but is friends with her.
yeah.
And she lives in West Virginia still.
Uh huh. She just lives
Okay,
over.
yeah,
I
'cause
think
she's
she
been
still lives
on
in
the
Clarksburg.
show.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
a few
yeah.
times. Yeah.
Maybe he may have even shown me when we were driving around that he thought that that was an area that she lived in because
Yeah.
some film, like either a picture or something like the background. He's like, "Oh, I feel like this is the area that I
I've
know."
actually never been to her house. She cooks a lot, and you know I don't get on Facebook much anymore. But it's Facebook. It's
You're
cringy.
an Insta person now.
I'm an Insta guy. Yes, I'm an Insta guy. But I mean I gotta stay on there to update the page. So whenever I get on
Yeah,
there, I
yeah.
get stuck like everybody else gets stuck. Either on a meme page or my memories or just. But I get on there to update the page more than anything. And
Yeah.
I saw a post. She made 2 kinds of lasagna. Okay,
Ooh.
that's awesome, but I still didn't get an invite, and I keep yelling at her about this. Because, and she says I'm a picky eater. I am a picky eater, but I'm not as picky as you would think. Like Rob doesn't eat vegetables at all, so like
Rob,
that's
you got to
picky.
eat vegetables.
He eats no like nothing. So I can try things. I can always try. I tried the salad at the wedding, and that was great.
That was
I
my
like
Aunt
salad.
Betty. That was one of her
I
recipes. So it
love
was
salad.
modified a little bit, but yeah, that was an Aunt
I
Betty
can
recipe.
now the olives I can go without, but it's okay.
You don't like olives?
I don't like olives. No,
Interesting. Okay.
no
Well, did
olives.
you try anything else other than? Well, we'll talk. I don't want to talk about that, but did you? What else?
We
You didn't try
can.
any like
We're not
steak
going to talk about hot
anything
dogs,
or?
though. We're not going to talk about hot
No.
dogs because I don't talk about hot dogs on the show anymore.
Okay, you don't. That's right. Well, no, you do. We talked about hot dogs.
We did. I quit doing that at the beginning of the year.
Oh,
I
where
have
have
other.
I been?
I have other. Yeah. Well, not on. Well, you guys have paid your due to the show. You know, you and Dale both have done what what I've asked of you. No, I'm kidding. Not what I've asked you. But you guys have helped me get the show going because I did need a co-host. I think at the beginning, just I don't know. I don't like
Now you
talking about
don't
the
need
beginning.
us anymore. That's what you're saying.
No, I do need. I would welcome that anytime,
Oh,
anytime you guys are, but not like then when I'd be like, okay, now here's the next show. Like that had to be. But you did it when you could, and you helped me, and I
I
appreciate
mean
it.
the whole family. I mean, I guess Tallulah's been on it. What, I
Tallulah
think
was
twice.
yes, she was on. Yeah, and
Well, she's been
but
on the we were talking about the gingerbread houses, and she kept
mhm.
interjecting. And gosh, she was probably like, "How long's the show? Has it been 3 years?
4 years at the end of the month. Yeah,
4? Oh yeah, because 2020. So she was like, okay, so she was like 5 one of the time. So
she was younger. Yeah,
yeah,
and
little.
you put her through that weird skit that you guys did when I had curses on too. That was I mean I know what it's it was from SNL. I know that now, but at the time I had no idea. I was just expecting a normal check-in because that's what we were doing. Instead of co-hosting, we were just doing like a check-in, which had to be annoying for you guys.
Yeah,
But still, you did it when you could. But I just like Dale, I can understand him doing something like that because that's him.
he's weird. I know.
But yeah, but you were like you were with it, but like you were like acting too much or something. I don't know. It was weird when you because like the
Well, I
way.
think I was trying not to laugh, and then
And then
Tallulah
Tallulah
just
did it,
kept
and I was like,
saying,
"What?" I was like, "What is
"Hello."
going on here? What is happening? What did happen to these people? Are they? Is it carbon monoxide? What's happening here?" It was strange. It was so strange, but it was.
And you were trying to keep it together because the guests are like, and they were just so like
They were
big
laughing their
smiles,
ass off.
like,
Yeah,
but their
they were
eyes
just.
weren't smiling. So they're like, what's happening?
But I'm really good friends with those guys still to this day. I've seen them several times play live, and they're really good friends. And it's amazing where the show has gone. Just from those weird cringy times to like the internet going out in and out, your internet going in and out. It's just
Oh gosh, ours
there's
it
always
was
something.
notorious. That's why I'm on the phone right now. I hate the phone 'cause it's so small, but
Hmm.
the computers cannot be trusted.
Well, you can do what I did. I did it for a good probably 6 months. I hooked I what is it hotspotted. I used my hotspot from my phone on my computer instead of my internet, and that worked fine.
Oh, that's right, we did, and I have done that for other things. Like if
Yeah.
I'm at an
Oh, just
appointment,
not
I don't
me.
know
Just
why I
not
buy
me.
it.
Okay, I see.
Well, I actually kind of forgot because you have mentioned
Yeah.
that. But like I have an old Mac that's like over 10 years old.
Oh no. Hmm.
It only
This
works
this
half
is
the
sometimes
time.
better than new ones.
This one is not. It just turns off when it feels like it. And I have my work computer, but my work computer's been funny with any sort of like thing like Zoom. It'll work for Teams because that's like the Microsoft thing, but it
Yeah.
won't work for Zoom always. So
What about like Google Meet? Isn't that like something like
I've
this?
done Google Meet. Yeah, that seems to work. Have you ever
Or
done Google Meet?
no? Mm-mm. I've never. I
I
don't
guess you
like meeting
can't for the
people.
show. You can't though, probably because you need whatever it is to be able to transfer
Yeah,
to
I,
YouTube.
I pretty much cheat YouTube and pay Zoom to be able to go live on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was very difficult to figure that out, but because I knew I could do the show on YouTube. It's basically I can't go on other platforms because of the copywritten music. If it
Oh
was all original
yeah.
music, I could, or if I didn't play music at all. But what's a show without any music?
I mean, the whole show is based on.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like said.
there's I've seen shows where they interview bands and they just don't play the music.
Oh.
Okay, but I do, and I want to,
I
So
think you should. I mean, like it
yeah,
is like it's
that's the
being
whole.
centered around it. Who wants to hear? I mean, also because like it's listening to a bunch of people talk that if you don't know the music, you're like, okay, well they seem like cool people, but I don't know if their music sucks.
Yeah, I mean, if you because I don't like. I mean, I can't say it like that. I don't usually have artists that have made it, or the ones that are signed to a major label. You know what I mean? I've had bands that are signed, but not to major labels, and if they are, they're not. They're still
They're
getting.
emerging.
Yes,
They're emerging. They're
yes.
super indie.
I like to draw
Yes.
attention to them and to bands that maybe will never be on a label. They just want to play music. That's the ones
Yeah.
that is that.
Oh, the siren.
I don't know what that was. I think it's
Yeah,
Roth.
we have a siren outside.
Oh, maybe it was
Chaos
you then.
here.
Okay, yeah. I thought it was,
Goodlettsville is a wild. Woo.
we don't normally have sirens around here. I'm kind of like out in the not as far as Dale's
Well,
mom, but I'm out
I mean,
too.
just that whole area. It's like actually on the way back from West Virginia. I mean, just and me coming from the West Coast, like yeah, West Virginia. First time I was like, I've never seen so much land. Even Tennessee. I mean, my friends that came out here last month and I saw my backyard, they're like, "You have a yard? Are you rich?" I'm like, "God, no." But it's I
Pish
mean,
posh.
California, you just don't get a yard. You get
Well, you
like
can,
square.
but you have to have several $1 million to have a yard.
Yeah, you have to have so much, and
Yeah.
that was who does. Yeah, my old apartment that I lived in before moving to Nashville, I paid 900, and it was a little tiny, studio apartment with like cockroaches. Water would get turned off whenever, and it was. I mean, it was kind of, it was in a cool, convenient area when you're in your 20s. I would not want to live there now, but now
Yeah.
I looked in the same place is going for $3,000, and it is so like it's beyond rundown. It's pretty rough, and I'm like three
What a
thousand
steal!
dollars.
What
Who
a
has
steal!
$3,000 for per month? Like that's got to
Yeah,
be.
that's
Yeah, that
crazy.
is. I mean, you might as well have a mortgage somewhere like Goodlettsville.
Well, I didn't really get to. Okay, we'll go ahead and talk about the wedding stuff, and then we'll
Okay.
dive.
Then we can go
we'll take
back. Then we'll go
a
back to
deep
the
dive
book.
into the book, and you can let us know what happens at the end and all that stuff. Anyway,
Well, I
okay.
can't tell you that. You'll have to
Oh,
buy it. But well, maybe you can get one for. Maybe I'll send you one for free for this show.
I'd like to. No, I'll buy a copy, but I want a signed
I'll.
copy. Are you going to
Of
sign
course, I can
copies?
get you a. Yeah, I can get you. I mean, I won't have them until March, but I mean, I might
Yep,
get
no,
some
that's fine. Yeah,
beforehand.
I will wait
Yeah.
like the rest of the sheep and or whatever peasants or whatever they call it. Okay, all right. So for those of you who don't know, Dale and Ashley, I will call you Ashley.
It's okay. You can
Just for
still
this
say
show.
Bev. It's fine. You can
Bev
say
is
Bev.
why I don't even know who Ashley in Roth is. That's weird. It should say
She's
Bev.
a whole other person.
Yeah, but no, you are the same person, and you and Dale got married in Tennessee. Has it been a month already?
It's
Hasn't been
June.
a
It was
month.
June 20. It's been like 2 weeks, but it feels
Okay,
like
yeah. Feels like eons ago.
feels
But
like it was 100 years ago.
but I went down for that. I went down to. Now I tell people I went to Nashville because basically, if you tell somebody you went to Goodlettsville or Cedar
They're
Park or
like,
whatever,
where the hell
yeah,
is that?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just say I went to Nashville, but I didn't even see the city because we stayed in Goodlettsville first, and then we came over to the park and stayed there the rest of the time, and then went on. We never did see.
You didn't
but,
get a honky tonk.
But I will come back down. It's not that bad of a drive. It's 10 hours, but I did it in 2 days, so it was fine.
And it
Yeah,
really
yeah, I'm
isn't like
fine.
I mean it could be so you must take a lot of stops too because it's really only
Oh,
supposed to be 7 hours but
I don't take any stops.
it takes us like about 10 hours to get there too but really technically it's like 7 but you have to stop to go to the bathroom
Maybe it was 7,
eat
maybe 7 or 8 or something. I just know that Lexington was exactly halfway.
halfway. Yeah,
Yeah,
Lexington's about what 3 or 4 hours I think.
something. I don't know. Who cares? I don't
All
know.
that matters is that you got here and you got
Should have
home
flown. Should have
safely.
flown.
Well, there are you guys don't have any airports.
I live right beside one.
Oh, was it
I
an
live right
airport
beside
like
the
a big
airport.
aort? Don't you live
No,
in
no. It's West
Tennessee?
Virginia. We don't have any big thing,
That's what I
anything
mean. You
here.
don't have like a major airport, I
Well,
guess. But
Pittsburgh's only an hour and a half
oh
from here.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but you go. But no, the airport here, the West Virginia, what is it? The North Central West Virginia Regional Airport or whatever they call it now. Like the runway, where they land is like right over my house. It's like right there.
Ooh.
But
Oh, I
but
don't like that for you.
well, it's not. I mean, it's not like right there. It's a little bit. Anyway, so like No, but they fly to Charlotte twice a day. You know, in the
Oh.
little tiny tiny plane.
I don't do small planes.
Yeah, and then they go to I think Orlando twice a week,
Oh.
and Myrtle Beach in the summertime, and
Oh,
St.
hey.
St. Petersburg, Florida, and Fort Walton Beach, Florida. They do that. So I mean, yeah, it goes places.
They could go to Nashville.
Well, you'd probably have to connect in Charlotte, I'd say.
Oh,
You'd have to
okay.
fly to
But
Charlotte and then
small
connect.
planes, I don't do small
Well,
planes.
not like tiny, not like a Cessna. It's a commuter jet.
I don't even do I did that once when my brother and I went to go
Why?
see. Well, my brother and I went to Paris, but we were
What do
actually
you only
going to
fly in like
Paris.
747s and things like that?
I need John. Although Boeing's not doing so well right now, so I
Well,
don't know. I'm
yeah.
not. I'm kind of freaked out
Just
about
stay
that
out
too.
of the
But
Max airplanes. Just stay out of those.
well,
You know, you're good.
we have a flight coming up in October, and it's going to be
Uh-oh.
mostly across an ocean. So I'm like,
I need a sound effect that goes bum bum bum. You know.
I'm already. I mean, the fact I'm like, ooh, I'm glad it's at night because we're flying over the ocean. I'm like, wait, it's in
Yeah,
at
because you're going
night
to
over
London,
the
right?
ocean.
You guys are
Yeah.
going.
I'm like,
You
can
guys
they
are going
see?
over. You guys are going to. Are you going to London? Is that where you're going for
Hmm.
your honeymoon?
Yeah, the belated honeymoon, but that's okay.
Now
It's kind of you almost need to take a belated one because you need that time to like either. I'm
you're
trying to think.
supposed to go right after you get married.
Yeah,
After the
I know.
reception is over and everything. You're supposed to go right then and there. Done.
We didn't do that, but we went to West Virginia, but it
You
was a
did.
family trip, so it's still
It was
when it's
it was
family,
nice.
it's not it's honeymoon vibey, but yeah, with children and parents and siblings and
And Dale.
friends that are basically family. I know. Wait, he has to come on the honeymoon.
We had so much fun the other night. Yeah. So, but yeah, the wedding was awesome though. I got to meet several people. Mainly, well, I got to see John Tracy again, which I haven't seen him in several years.
Aw.
But well, last time when Dale did the finger thing where he fell and on the deck and his finger was hanging off, he goes, "Oh, this is not supposed to go like that." That's the last time I saw John Tracy was that night up in Trenton.
And you guys were traumatized together.
No, we weren't traumatized. We were traumatized because we couldn't find him. Really, that's what the traumatization was. I don't know if that is that a
From
word?
not, ooh, that's so scary with the finger dangling off. I'd be like, ooh, you do you.
It's Dale. That's what he does. I mean, hey, that's supposed to be
Thankfully,
right.
there's no. I have to leave. You got your finger hanging off by a thread. I got to go somewhere. Sorry.
But no, he
Hope
went
you
by
can call an
ambulance.
ambulance.
Somebody called an ambulance or whatever, and the ambulance took him to the hospital. But nobody got the name of the hospital he was going to. And there's several in Trenton, and
Oh.
so that's me and John Tracy drove around all night looking for him. Like
Oh my
we had no
gosh,
idea.
that's terrible.
Yeah. Thankfully, John Tracy knew where to look because I'm not from there, obviously. So I don't. I
Yeah.
had no idea where I was. I just was riding along.
You're like, you'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, we found him. We found him eventually, so he was
Oh.
fine. But yeah, that was the last time I saw him. But like, I met several of your friends from back in, I guess, childhood.
Y'all in
and
California.
growing
Well,
up.
you hung out
Yeah.
with Michael and Mar
Mhm.
and Nicole.
Michael was awesome. Michael was like
He-
the party guy that you want at every party. You know.
Oh yeah, because he was like he's able to have a really intelligent conversation, but he can be fun and crazy. He also can get stuff done, but he also can relax. Yeah, he's a man of
And
all
I got
trades.
something. I got something from him that made me relax. I'm not going to mention
Oh.
it on the show because my mom might be watching.
Yes. So he
It was
was
legal. was no-
in some places.
It was a gummy. It was a gummy.
I
It
don't
was
know
fine.
if it's legal in your land. I don't even know if
It's
it's legal here.
well, Rob has a medical card. You can you can get like a medical marijuana. They have the dispensaries here. now.
Okay, so you do. I don't even know if that's what we're at. I mean, me and panic attacks. It's just we're not buddies. But yeah,
I don't.
So,
Yeah, I don't partake usually.
But yeah,
at
I don't
all.
know. I feel like Tennessee's laws are pretty strict. I think we have like the
Probably.
Delta 8 and CBD, but I think that's as far. But honestly, we
Yeah.
might have medical now. I don't even know.
Ask Dale. Well, no, he probably
He
doesn't.
doesn't know. He's also a panic. He's panic attack land too. We're a
Yeah,
very
I never did.
strong house.
What? Yeah.
And so even
Oh.
Tallulah's like, check my heart. Is it beating? I'm nervous.
I saw. I got to interrupt this story for a second. I got to interrupt our story. I was in Target before I got home. I had to pick up something, but I was in the candy aisle, which is usually where I find myself. But okay, you guys are vegans, and
Yeah.
that's fine. That's fine. I tried some of the things at the wedding, and it was okay. Okay, but it's getting out of hand. Okay, our bass player Rick, he's also a vegan, but
I love it.
well, he's not by. I don't think it's by choice. He just did it for health. It helped.
Okay,
Something
so
was going
he's
on.
like
and he
plant based then probably.
Yeah, he quit eating meat, and that helped whatever situation he was going through. So,
Okay, well I'm glad that it's magic.
but I had to put it
Vegan
in our band chat what I found because I took a picture of it because it's getting overwhelming this plant stuff. Okay, Now I eat Reese cups. Okay, I love Reese cups.
You saw the, oh my God, the plant-based ones?
We don't need to announce it to everyone. It says plant-based in big letters. Like it's
I
bigger than the
know.
logo for the candy. Like no. And right beside it, there's Hershey's has
You know,
plant-based.
Hershey's, yes.
Or
Do you know how much that
stupid.
changed my life?
But
Because, we have a Justin's peanut butter cup, which they are delicious.
Justin's,
But Reese's is
like
like, it's
Dale's.
a classic one. Yep, it was Justin Dale. But it was the Justin's peanut butter cup, and they were so good. And the Unreal ones also so good. But when those Reese's came out, also when you have a kid, like kids like name brand stuff. So I can be like,
Well,
look, Tallulah, take your Reese's with you to lunch, and it doesn't like veganism doesn't look as like separatist.
yes, it does. Okay, and now here's the thing though. So Rick answered because I put it in the group chat here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just you can't. I have a light on. But it says
Yes, I
plant
can
based.
see it.
Like where you can't see it says plant based in gigantic letters. I mean, so Rick comes back and he goes, the thing is they were always plant based. He goes,
They
they
weren't,
just have
though.
he said they just have the balls to say it now. That's what he said.
Oh no, they had milk though.
Yeah, but that's not meat.
Milk is not from a plant. Milk's from a cow's nipple.
I know, and right.
It's from her boob, the cow.
No, it says oat, chocolate, confection, and peanut butter. What's the problem? I don't know. Okay, what was it before?
That's that's the original one has milk chocolate. Now it's oat milk chocolate.
What's the problem with milk chocolate?
Because it comes from the mom cow makes the milk for the baby, much like
I
the
know how it
plant
works.
do.
I'm just saying, like what's wrong with milk? Like why no milk?
Because
at
that's
all?
why, you take it from the baby, and the babies get taken away to go to be veal, or the mom cows cry. You remember the cow song you talked about how much you love?
What about
Those
what about baby
cows
plants?
are-
What about baby plants? See, if you guys start taking all this plant stuff away and consuming it, that's how we breathe. Like trees.
Those
and
are
stuff.
old plants. They're old plants that make.
I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about.
It's old oats. You will be glad to find out that none of the
I don't
actually that's
know.
not true. Only one of the characters in my
We've lost
upcoming
viewers
novel,
since we've lost
Yeah.
viewers.
only one of the characters in my forthcoming novel is vegan. There others are not.
Thank God, because I wasn't going to buy it if it was. Yeah.
Well, actually, I guess two, because there's the granddaughter does own a vegan bakery in Portland.
I
But
feel like-
she's
No, go ahead.
no, but she's not as the main characters are the grandparents. So
I feel like I need to tell you and Dale something that I haven't told you. I didn't lie.
A
I just
confession?
never told you. I
a
just never told you.
confession.
Kind of, but it's not bad or anything. But I feel like I should. This is a good time to tell you because you can't. I wasn't going to tell you in person because there could be like a physical thing involved, and we can't have that. But no, Ashley and I left the reception and went to the Outback.
Oh, you really?
We
Wait,
did.
before you came to the cabin?
Yeah. Well, you remember
Oh,
when
really?
we came back? We came back and we like loaded stuff up in the truck, and Dale's like, "Where were you? Were you? I don't even think. Yeah, you were there. You walked out
I don't. There was so much happening.
like
Oh my
everybody was
gosh.
cleaning up. It was after everybody
Yeah.
had left, and you
So
were just
didn't
cleaning up. And,
dance.
huh?
You
No,
didn't dance.
No.
Oh,
But
man.
Ashley didn't eat anything at all there.
Aw,
I did. I
she
tried.
was-
I tried everything but the roast beef sandwich because Dale had told me the night before
Oh,
that it
she
wasn't
didn't eat anything at the wedding.
right. I did
thought you were
though.
saying you went to Outback and just sat
No,
there.
no. I had some salad and I had some of the potato casserole, which was excellent. And
Yes.
I had a bite of the hot dog, and I didn't try the roast beef sandwich because Dale had already told me that it wasn't roast beef.
But you should try that
traditions.
actually. So you remember my friend's husband, who's a Food Network, grill
Yes,
guy?
what's
He
his
said
name?
that was Ryan Fay.
Faye, yeah. I need to.
Yeah,
I want to get him on the show. You need to hook me up with his. I don't have
I
his
can do
contact.
that. He said that was the best seitan, so the which is the meat substitute that he's ever had.
The best
and he
what?
said
What
that
is it
roast
called?
seitan is like it's wheat gluten, but he said that roast beef sandwich was really he was very impressed. And he's Food Network. He knows what he's talking about.
He is. Well, he's not Food Network. He works for. Food
Well,
Network.
he's like, yeah, he made us some food when we were coming back from West Virginia, some ratatouille and corn, and
Really?
then Tallulah was like, I don't want that, and he made her a separate pasta. I saw Murphy's tail.
Yeah, birthday boy.
Oh, hi Murphy. Oh, look at him.
He's mad because it's no longer his birthday, and I told him I was like that morning I was like, you know what, Murphy, it's your birthday, okay? So you all you have to do is just sleep all day, and eat and sleep. Just take it easy. That's
You
exactly
did,
what
oh
he
my
did.
gosh, look at him. He wants to be on the
Well,
show. My gosh, I love you.
Rob's walking through the thing.
You didn't get him a set. Like usually for our cat's birthdays, we get them a special can that's
He
different than
gets
their
a
normal
special
cans.
pile of treats instead of just little.
Yes, a special treat, and then also a new toy.
He's got several in there that he doesn't
Oh,
play
he
with.
needs a new one for his birthday.
Well, it's not his birthday anymore, so he's gonna have to wait till next year.
Oh, he's sad. Look at that was so
But
cute.
no,
when he
we
came out.
I tried this stuff and yes, we left the park and went into Lebanon and went to Outback, but it wasn't very far.
Oh,
I had to have
see
some
what
meat.
Dale.
I had to
You know
have
what's
some
funny
meat.
is as Dale had made a joke, he was like, God, what if people leave and what if people are like, oh, this is vegan? So we didn't say it was vegan ahead of time, even though I feel like if anybody knows us, they would assume,
Yeah.
But we didn't label it as such, just just in case someone. But I was like, no one's gonna leave just because it's vegan. I stand corrected. But you said you tried stuff, but Ashley
I
was she
did.
just like
Yeah.
was it she?
She
is
said she wasn't hungry, but she was starving when we got to the Outback, so that was
okay,
weird.
so maybe she was just like, and it's on different things. It's like,
I don't
it's
know,
something new.
but I mean, I needed some meat in my system, so
Did you feel
not
better?
not because of the wet. I just needed meat in my. I needed a steak. I needed. Damn
So
it!
do
I
you
needed a
eat
steak.
meat every single meal?
Do I?
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah, I am a
Ooh,
carnivore.
you gotta check your. I mean, I'm not.
But I
vegan
eat a
for
lot
health
of
reasons,
salad too. I eat
obviously,
a
but
lot of salad. I'm a
good. I mean,
salad.
I
I'm a
guess you're
writer.
balancing out because too much meat and nothing else. It just
But
digestively, it
the
doesn't go
best
good.
salad is a big piece of grilled chicken on top or a nice steak on salad.
You like I've never even in my never had see I didn't I went vegetarian so young and I was never a meat kid. Like as a kid I was a carb kid.
You got to
That's
try
always
it again. You never know. You might like it again.
no. I can't get past the visuals in my head.
Okay, but you got okay. Okay, one more thing, and then we'll get away from this.
I don't want to gross out the viewers. Because they're
Well,
like, what? Because you're
I
gonna
do
ask
that.
me
I do
what
that every time I come
visuals.
on the show, so it's fine. But
No, but they're gonna be like, what visuals? Or you're gonna ask me, and then I'm
well,
gonna
I'm going to
talk
give you.
about
I'm about to
blood.
give you a visual because I'm sure
Ugh.
you've seen this. So,
Okay.
so you're grossed out by the visuals of the meat stuff, right?
It's just the fact that
But-
I know what it is.
But you had hot dogs at your wedding. You had both the classic hot dog and the vegan.
They all were vegan.
I knew it. They were labeled. They were labeled separately, though.
Chili dog. You could add chili to it, or you could eat.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so like,
I actually stopped eating hot dogs when I was like 9 or 10. Because
Okay,
somebody
have you
told
ever-
me that they mixed in everything, and I was like, no.
well, they do. Have you ever? You've gotten like a Frosty at Wendy's, right?
I mean, in like
Like the
30
chocolate
something years
Frosties?
ago. It's
Because
been
I think there's different
it's been a
flavors
really
of them
long
now.
time, but
Well,
yeah.
anyway, if you look at the way that they look, the way that they make hot dogs, like on a science thing or just on YouTube,
It looks like the Frosty.
it looks like a
yeah.
Frosty.
It's gross.
Yeah.
It
But
is
you had
gross.
hot dogs at
But-
your wedding, so yeah. I don't want to
But
hear it
they were
anymore.
all vegan. So they were all made of like soy delicious.
A bunch of like weeds and plants and all kinds of like toenails and things like that, right? There's like beaks and
toenails
stuff.
would make it not vegan though, because it can't come from something.
You know what
other
I'm
than-
saying?
Maybe a plant's toenails. I don't know.
I mean, what? We can get really into deep dive into this, but maybe I'll just have a vegan podcast at some point. And I'll invite you to be on the panel.
Ooh.
On the panel.
Yes,
Well, the panel,
I'll come try
yes.
food on it.
Yeah, we'll have a panel of carnivores and a panel of vegans, and
Well, that it
We'll
would be kind
argue.
of a fun show to like.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, something about like. Well, you couldn't have the other people try the food though, because it would be like against something where like maybe the carnivore is like, oh, here's my favorite carnivore food, and then the vegan
Carnivore
makes the
food?
vegan version.
wait,
I don't know.
wait, carnivore food. Wait a minute. Don't put us in your category of vegan food. We don't call it carnivore food. We just call it food.
Well, whatever it is, like some like some meat thing, and then the vegan makes a version of it. I don't know.
Murphy likes chicken. He just looked at me and went, meow.
My cats have to eat. So that's, I mean, you can't be 100%. I do have to still support the industry because my cats have to eat. So,
There he is.
oh, look at him.
He's mad because I have the bench pushed back, but it's like 95 degrees today, and you have to keep the air conditioning on, and the register is back here on the floor, so I can't pull the bench up because it'll cover I'll die. Here.
You do need, you guys are under a heat advisory today.
We're under a lot of things here today.
True story.
Here, Murph. Here, I moved it up. Come on. All right, now you're just gonna be down there. All right, cool, whatever. So I read what you sent me about what the book is about.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Go ahead and tell the folks what it is about. Get them to buy your book. Basically, this is
Okay.
ready. Go.
Oh gosh, so I don't even have it in front of me, but
Sorry.
so the book is called "We Never Took a Bad Picture," and it follows a septuagenarian couple in 2018 as they are getting ready to plan this really big anniversary party, a party that they've been postponing, and it also is a party that happens to initially fracture this agreement that they had made 30 years ago. And so, backtracking 30 years prior, their teenage son had died, and they made an agreement right after his death, which I will not tell you all the details of it because you kind of unfold as the novel goes. But this party is like kind of the first fracture in this agreement. And so so it goes. It's a braided timeline, so you have the past, so you learn about their whole marital legacy. You find out kind of like the son, how he came to be, and how he died. It's told from the married couple's perspective and the daughter's perspective. And it goes through this whole year, and then the past chapters are all big chunks of the past. And so it grapples with a lot of stuff. Like the husband, it's funny because at first the husband, Artie is his name. I was like, oh man, I hate Artie because he's master of infidelity. He's all about like nothing but like he's kind of like boring. He's like hyper like masculine in the ugliest ways. But then like actually a friend of mine who was a beta reader, she was like, man, she's like, I hated Artie. She goes, and then I felt so sorry for him. And so it's he's this older man and he's worked at this grocery store since the 60s. I used to work in a grocery store. But he works at a grocery store since the 60s, and his whole identity is wrapped up in like, the successful like store manager, and trying to maintain like his role as like provider. And then the wife, her whole identity was wrapped up in motherhood. And so how does that change when like one of her children dies? And the other child she's not as close to. And this estranged child does come back in. They experience another tragedy, and
Jeez.
then they reach their breaking point, or do they? Dun dun dun.
I don't. I need the sound effect. That's what it is. I don't have
Yes, but
the
I mean, like,
mixer.
so they have to figure out, like, is it worth, like, so we never took a bad picture, right? You look at all these pictures of people, and we all have that, right? We all have the photo albums where, and especially before digital, you
Yeah.
didn't, every picture you took was so, like, had to be worth it because the film was expensive, and every picture you took was worth it, and it painted a picture, and it kind of, like, made everything look a certain way, but behind the picture was all this other stuff going on, and, like, so in their case, this family's picture perfect family, sure the son died, and nobody talks about it. Like nobody's allowed to mention 1988, which is the year that he had died.
So how did he
And
die
you
again? How did
well,
he
you
die?
I can't tell you. You'll
Ah,
have to find out.
see.
But
So,
and you don't find out until later on in the book, and it's not what you think at all. So he died. You know that
and it was a
the
tragedy,
husband.
also.
Yes, it's tragedy. The husband is painfully sober and
Hmm.
really into his work. And you know that the wife knows that this party is not a good idea.
So it was a woman's instinct, correct?
Yes. Well, yeah. Well, no, she's doing the party. She knows not a good idea, kind of on purpose. Like she's intentionally poking the bear, rocking the boat. Whatever it is, whatever saying you have, whatever idiom.
Is there room for a sequel to this story? Have you thought about that, or is it just I know how some stories they just end and you go on to the next idea, but like, is there if people would say, okay, well, what happens now? Like, is there room for that in this one?
I mean, I guess there could be. Like, it definitely ends pretty. The ending is pretty ending-ish. I don't know if it's not a word, but it's
Yeah.
it's definitely a very clear, concrete ending. But could there be a sequel? Yeah, but the conflict that exists here would definitely not exist in that one. And
Is
I feel
that
like the characters could reappear in other forms, or you could even have a spin-off. You know, um, that was kind of one thing as some of the characters. The daughter, I loved writing her story because she's born in the 60s. She gets really into punk and like early 80s stuff, and she was really fun to write. But yeah, her story is a lot smaller in it, and so there could be a sequel or spin-off with her. But I'm already working on two others. Well, I have one, the next book I'm working on, and I already have an idea for the third, and none of them are connected. So
so when you're writing, when an author is writing a story, for a book, do you make that decision before, like during the writing process, that I need to leave room for a sequel to this, so I can't put this in here, but I have that idea. I want to save it for something. Do you do that or ahead of time? Like, for example, James Patterson has several in his series. Does he make that decision at at the first go of the first series of the book before he?
I mean, I guess I can't say for sure because he may have a whole different process. But typically with sequels are more like genre specific. So like fantasy will have a lot of sequels or like trilogies. Thrillers a lot of times, and thrillers actually don't have sequels as much as they used to, but they used to have a lot of YA. So like young adult books will often have sequels because I think too that's to get like kids roped into reading. And so if you get a kid sucked in, oh good, then you've got readership.
Mhm.
But with like so this one is considered like literary fiction, and like literary stuff doesn't typically have sequels, but it can, and they're definitely have been spin-offs, and I'm just blanking right now, but I feel like there was like one writer that's a really prominent literary writer, modern, and they definitely had a sequel, and I'm just blanking. This happened the last podcast I was on, talk about writing too. I'm like, I just go blank.
Well, I mean, okay, gosh, I have so many questions about this because I do a lot of you know editing things like I did that back in college too. People would give me their papers, I would edit them so that they would
Mhm.
not so they could get a good grade because it wasn't that kind of I wouldn't do people's English classes or journalism classes because that's editing is the part of it they're supposed to know.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
people that just need to write papers that's like for a history class or something. Yes, I will edit that for you to make sense. But like
So do you edit for like content or for punctuation? Like, or you feel like
punctuation
it's
more than
more
anything. It
okay?
bothers me. It bothers me so
Yeah.
much. But like, and I understand. Not a lot of people, know proper punctuation. Whether you went, and it's not like special schooling. It's just whether you pay attention to it or
I
not.
mean,
Some people don't
it's
use
actually
commas.
high school, right? And like
Like
we don't. I mean, in school we don't focus on punctuation and grammar. It's just like the
it's
curriculum.
shocking.
It doesn't leave much. Like I know, until like third grade last year, they were doing it. But if you, I feel like there needs to be space for it every year. Or I think what it is too is that we give kids, okay, here's how you use these different grammar rules. Here's punctuation rules, and then we just assume they're using it all the time. But like
I'm surprised they're not
they're
teaching
not.
cursive anymore. There's no cursive
I
anymore.
know. Yeah,
How are you
that's gonna.
supposed to
I mean,
sign? How do they
signatures are
sign their
not.
name?
It's they're printed now. Even like a lot of my students' parents, like it says sign this, and it's a print.
Yeah, but if
Yeah,
you're in a
it's
band, you can't just you know.
well, yeah. Who wants your autograph to just be a printed name? You want
I
to
forgot to
be
mention this at the beginning.
illustrious.
I went to Akron, Ohio, last week, and saw the undertaking. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, a second time, so I got to see those guys again. But they played with a band called God's Eyes from Long Island, and this is the broken stick. They were going to give me a new stick. I was like, no, you
Yes.
need that for the tour. I was like, give me a broken one that you broke, and they all signed it. So you probably kind of see the
Oh
signatures
yeah.
on there. And
But see that one of them is printed.
just to be
But that
safe,
might be
or
a
just to be fair,
stylistic choice.
the Undertaking gave me a stick also and signed it. But
Yes.
I mean, how do you? Those are signatures. Like, and all
Yeah.
that might be just like initials, but what are the kids going to do now? Just make their mark like the slaves did? I mean, like it's just
I mean, it would be maybe like prints, a symbol.
I don't understand. I just don't understand. Are they okay? So are they going to get rid of writing altogether and just say here, just type on this?
A lot of stuff is tight, and even like spelling. Like I remember, second grade, and you were like,
Crazy.
winning like spelling bees, right? Well, I mean, I was winning spelling bees, but
I
it is a lot of little kids now. Spelling like is a struggle because so many things. It'll do like the
turned it
autocorrect
off.
or
I
yeah,
turned it
because
off.
I feel like I've forgotten how to spell words I once knew how to spell because I
Mhm.
don't have to know how
I
to
can't
spell
spell
them anymore.
definitely. To this day, I still can't outspell definitely.
Immediately is one that gets me. Immediately
Really?
is one that yeah.
You got to
It's one
sound it
that like
out.
I flip a word, and then embarrassment is one that I find myself misspelling a lot.
Yeah, because it's the double letters that get
Yeah.
after a
And it's
while.
not one that we had a little thing like Mississippi to talk about.
Yeah, Alex Stanilla, he's been on the show a couple times. He's actually co-hosted with me. I think he did, but it was his idea. He said because he said he turned off all the autocorrects off of all of his devices, so he has to actually type out the spelling. He
Yeah.
has to. He's forced to learn it, and I did that. I did the same thing, and it does help. I didn't do it on my. I don't. There's something I didn't do it. It's not fully on my phone, but like the text
But if
and
you're
things will
typing
do
on
it.
like Word or like Google
Yeah,
Docs or
if I'm on my
something, yeah.
computer, it doesn't. It just tells me it's wrong. With the red
Yeah, and then you
underline
got to
thing.
figure it out.
I
And
got to.
that's how you
But
learn is by
I
figuring
get
things out.
frustrated with definitely, so I get on my phone and I act like I'm texting
Yeah.
somebody, and it'll spell it out for me.
Yeah.
Or I'll ask.
But then at least you can go and manually. They say that like that's if you're being told something you don't learn it. You have to. And that's why I think with grammar and punctuation is we don't give kids like space to practice it all the time. So of course they're gonna forget it. They
Yeah.
actually say with like books that that's one of the things that when you're writing a book you need to make sure you're leaving pieces of the puzzle because that's what makes people invested in reading is that their brains need to feel like just
True.
like you're talking about the James Patterson stuff. You need to be actively engaged in trying to figure out like who did this, who did what, why they did it, and that's what actually keeps people wanting to read
Now,
books. Which I
when
mean,
you're when you su-
readership's down a lot.
when you submit the book, I'm sure there's a the publisher has an editor and goes through your whatever. It might even be computer stuff now, but like they have to go through it. Now, do you pay attention to punctuation and things when you're writing already? That way,
Yeah, I can't not. I know
yeah.
that like I can't turn off that editing mind even for content. Like some people say, I just let it all out, whatever happens. I can't just let things be too like wild like that. Like I need to harness it a little bit, which kind of sucks, I guess, because it's not that freedom of creating. But yeah, I can't not think about punctuation. I can't not think about like the way something sounds, like a line. I mean, just like the
I
wording.
have a very good example for this, and I say it a lot too. Now, so for example, if I want to say, if I'm looking at Murphy and I say it's time to eat, comma Murphy, but if I leave that comma out, I'm saying it's time to eat Murphy.
Yes, and we would never do that. But yeah, that's
But
what
that's how important punctuation is
it
to me.
really.
Like you have. So I just make that joke all the time. It's time to eat Murphy.
And a lot of people don't know about that comma if you're addressing somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if you say, if I say happy birthday, Murphy, it's supposed to be happy birthday, comma Murphy.
Murphy,
A lot of
yes.
people don't do that.
A
Yeah.
pause. Not
Yes.
not like a happy birthday, Murphy. Not pause like that because that's forever. But just it's a punctual pause, I guess they call
Well,
it. Right?
that long of a pause would probably be either an ellipsis or maybe an M dash. But
I don't get
probably
into the wording of it. I just know to do it.
the M dash is my favorite punctuation though.
The what?
The M dash, so it's like two hyphens together because you can use
Oh
it as
yeah,
a
yeah.
comma, you can use it as a pause, you can use it as an interruption. Oh, we love the M dash.
The ones that this is going to be a very boring part of the show for a lot of people, but I don't care. I don't really care. But no, the ones the one that I get confused on is the semicolon. I don't know when to use it and when not to use it because it's like a pause, but it's not.
It's separating two independent clauses, or if you're going to be like blah blah blah, however blah blah blah, which still would be two separate clauses. But like if your two sentences can stand by themselves and be grammatically correct, then a semicolon can go between them.
That's crazy. I'll never be an author.
There we are, English teacher, also all the things.
Now, are there famous authors, or are there authors that just tell the story to someone else and they write it for them and put it in the context that, like we're talking right now, like that the punctuation and like
there are
the
ghostwriters and stuff. Yeah, there are ghostwriters. I mean, also there's ghostwriters. Like I don't know if you like. Well, VC Andrews, most of her books are written by ghostwriters. That wasn't her. She died. But
hold on 1 second. Hey, Rob,
yes.
your phone is ringing very loudly during my show in there. I don't know where he went. He's not in the bathroom because I can see the.
He would have taken his phone to the bathroom.
It's like ding, ding. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's like ding ding.
I heard something, but it kind of sounded like Dale's phone. It sounded like Dale's alarm clock.
I so need one of those signs that say on air. And put it outside the door. Shut the door.
Have you ever gotten to go to a live broadcasting like a talk show? I went to a Conan O'Brien thing. It was so fun.
No, I haven't, but I did have 12 News here a couple weeks ago, which Dale went there. So yeah,
W Boy.
Yeah, the W Boy show. Yeah. No, yeah, that was. But no, I understand. Just from being in journalism, that's what I've been to.
But the on air for Conan, they even had a light thing that would tell you when it was safe to clap. Big applause. And,
it's always safe to clap. You can clap whenever you want. You can clap on here if you want.
No, but like, you better clap now, or we're gonna kick you out. Applause.
or when to laugh. Yes.
Oh God. I had a friend that when I told them I was on Conan, they were like, "I have got to listen for your laugh," because I've been known to have a very distinct
you
laugh.
do have a distinct laugh.
Very loud.
My parents went to Leno one time when he was still doing
it.
They because they used to do this like every 2 years they would go to Hawaii and because that's where they went for their honeymoon. I don't know if that's why, but. So they always stopped somewhere on their way back, like Vegas or something. But they stopped in L.A. and went to. Then there was his voicemail. Ding ding ding! My goodness, you don't need to be that loud.
Rob, answer your phone.
I don't know where he went. I don't know, but it was Matt Damon was the guest, and Cake was the musical guest.
Oh yeah, so it must have been like 90 something.
Yeah, well, no, it was the 2000s. But it was just because Cake came out with something new. I think it was just the two of just those two. I can't remember. But I remember I DVR'd it. Back when I had TV. I don't even have TV anymore.
Oh yeah, DVR classic.
Yeah, so I DVR'd the thing. I used to have it. The clip of them because they were like towards the front. Because when Leno came out, people would get up and shake hands with him. You could see my parents clearly, and they shook hands, gave him a high five, and everything. It's crazy.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
I love it.
So
When I went to Conan O'Brien, it was Ewan McGregor, and it was a guy that had animals on there. So I was like, oh, and it was a comedian, I think, instead of a musical guest.
Was that in New York?
It was in California. It was in
Okay.
LA. I think, and maybe Conan used to live in New York, but it was, and you could just sign up and get. And actually, I used to live right by that same apartment that now is $3,000 a month. That was Jimmy Kimmel. You could hear Jimmy Kimmel from if
Oh,
I went
nice.
outside, like on the fire escape. Yeah.
I liked his show. His show was cool. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know who
don't
the
watch
the nighttime. I mean, like it was who is Conan? No, no, it's what's his face? Carson Daly is who has the Jay Leno
He's
because it
still on
was
there?
Conan and now it's Carson Daly, which is so
I don't
funny because
know.
like remember he's kind of a dork, you know,
He's a big dork. Yeah, he's a big
like
dork.
it because it was Steve Allen and then Johnny Carson and then
The
yeah Jay
classics.
Leno, yeah.
Like SNL even sucks anymore.
Oh, I
Sometimes it
know.
doesn't.
Except for that one clip that we were so inspired by. Like, yeah, during
I
the
don't know why you were
quarantine,
that one you were inspired by, but
that was the funniest one.
the
But
the,
I mean, yeah, like
the
SNL,
Jeopardy
like we used to
Jeopardy
be
would have
so.
been good. You should have
Oh
done
my
the
gosh,
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy! I actually, my grandparents love Wheel of Fortune. When I was over at their house the other day, and it was the last Pat Sajak episode, and I
Mhm.
got teary eyed. Like his little speech was kind of like it was really sad. I was like, I have not
I
watched Wheel of
not on
Fortune in
his, but
probably
like
30 years.
I saw those clips on TikTok, and
Oh,
I saw his, and then I watched Vanna White's. Now that one, it was like
I heard my
John
grandma was
Tracy at your
saying.
wedding. He got me
Oh my
teary
god,
eyed.
my grandma said John Tracy. My grandma said that Vanna White's speech was real. I actually need to find it because I love Wheel of Fortune and all those shows. Like we have none of our
Well, I mean,
childhood icons. My Bob Barker is gone. Alex Trebek
I think
is
he's dead
gone.
too, isn't he? Is
Yeah, they're
Bob
all
Barker?
gone. They're
Yeah,
well, I mean, Pat Sajak's not dead, but and his
he will
daughter,
be.
I guess, is gonna. I mean, yeah, eventually. Like, remember when you used to watch the Oscars and they'd have the in
No,
memoriam
Seacrest
and
has taken over
everyone
for
was,
him.
huh?
Seacrest has taken over
Yeah, I
for Pat.
know. Yeah,
He does
I don't.
Can we just get rid of that guy altogether?
I
Because
know
he
we're
takes
over
over.
him.
Gosh,
Yeah, but he also took over the Dick Clark thing, right? The New
he
Year's.
takes over a lot of things. Yeah,
So
yeah. Good shit.
every New Year's we watch old New Year's episodes from like the '80s, and
Oh, instead of
we
the actual
watch the
one,
years
yeah.
we watch the years that we were born. we
Only
watched
those, only those two.
well last year we did. We watched '81 and '83, and we were like, then we watched the years coming into our birth years.
Well,
We wanted
for
to
this
see what
coming
the
one,
world. We would.
watch the one for my birth year, which was 1980.
So okay, so yeah,
see,
well, we
switch it up
did
a little
watch
bit.
19. We watched the 1980 to 81 switchover because that's when the hostages were in they had all we didn't it's something none of us knew about the hostages that were in Iran, and it was
Nope.
like there were all like tons. There's a movie with Ben Affleck about it like several years ago.
Of course, Ben
Um,
Affleck was in it.
but yeah, it was. I mean, it was a really big deal
Yeah.
in 1980 and 81 because they were like held hostage. Apparently, and I didn't know because I was a I wasn't even born yet. And I guess by the time I came to, I didn't know that this had been a thing. But it was
Is
like 176 days or something. It was a long time.
is there a genre of I guess books? I don't know what you call literary genre. Is that, I mean, because you have musical genres. I don't know how you say
Yeah,
the
there
books.
definitely are genres. Yeah.
Is there one that you absolutely love that you just not interested in writing for, like a certain genre? Is there one that you love to read, but you just don't have any interest in writing something? Is there
Gosh,
anything like
that's
that?
tough. Because I feel like I read a lot of the same stuff. I mean, I was really scared of like writing thrillers. I felt like I could not do it well, but I'm trying. Right, and that was one that but I also thought I didn't like to read thriller. I love thriller movies, but I thought I didn't like thriller books. I think like honestly, like children's stuff is, and I have written one children's book, but it was more like it wasn't really for
What was
the
it called?
intent of Tiny Tallulah and the Trouble with Zoos. So it was for Tallulah. Like it was, and
Yeah.
then I sold
Is
it
it
to
out?
a bunch of.
Can you
It's
get it?
yeah, you can get it, but like I just have never. So I guess I technically have written it, but I'm so intimidated. But I think children's literature is really smart in a really different way. But you have to because you have to like convey stuff. Actually, movies too. We watched Inside Out 2 the other day. I'm like, this is like the smartest movie I've ever seen, and it's not just for kids. Like it's like you have to see it because I'm like, this is
No,
saying so
a
much.
Beautiful Mind is the smartest one.
Oh,
If
I
you,
don't know. You haven't seen Inside Out 2?
I haven't seen Inside Out one.
It really is.
So.
It's oh, you need to see them both. We should have done that when we were out there.
I don't watch things. I don't. I got rid of my. I called Dish Network. This was a few months ago. I called Dish Network and canceled my TV because I
You
don't watch
don't
TV.
have like just a physical
No, I have it. I have a TV.
apparatus.
I still have a
Yeah,
TV.
so
Yeah,
you have a
but
DVD player.
no,
You have VCR.
no. I
Oh,
have an
we
Xbox.
have a
I have an Xbox, but
VCR.
it's not hooked up anymore.
Oh, so
But
you
no,
can watch
but when I called Dish and canceled, they're like, "Gosh, you've been with us for 18 years." I was like, "Really?"
Oh,
And apparently I have, but so they were doing everything in their power to not like just get me to pause it.
they were
And
begging you.
I was like, listen, I don't have any future plans to watch TV. I'm just not interested in it anymore. You know, there's
So because we do, I mean, I was saying when I first met Dale, he had like I don't think he had a TV, and we never like ours is off all day long. Like sometimes if like Tools like kind of watch a show, but we're pretty like. I mean, at the end of the day, we'll watch a movie. You know, she and I like on Fridays we have our movie night. But yeah, we do at the end of the day like to like zone out and like sit through a story.
but
Hey,
but you don't have to pay for these cable company things. You can
no,
watch
we don't
all
do
that stuff.
cable. We
Oh,
have
there you go. Yeah.
streaming stuff.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
So do you have
'Cause
any streaming services or no?
I just YouTube. You know, I have YouTube
Okay,
Premium,
so
which
you
is
don't. Because
no
say you could
ads.
watch stuff on your computer too, but it'd be really
Yeah.
small.
No,
Huh.
I do. I watch it on my Mac. You know, if I'm laying in bed or whatever. I don't have. I have the big TV, and it's not a smart TV. It's a dumb TV, but it's a flat screen. You know,
Yeah, it's a classic. Yeah.
yeah, but it's a TV. But I don't. And I can hook my Mac up to it, and so it's all there. And I do that sometimes. You know, if I'm editing or whatever. But I just don't. I have. The heck was that?
But I do feel like
Oh, he's power washing. Rob's power washing
being
my house for me.
being mindful of like what's out there in terms of like movies and shows does make me not know so much a better writer, but it's a different way of storytelling, right? To tell it in a movie or a show. But it
Yeah.
has made me more aware of and I hate this. I hate the business side of art, but in the reality of it is you do need to be relevant if you want people to, read your stuff. And so it has made me more aware of like the conversations that society's having and like not every even my book right now is thinking god my protagonists the main two protagonists are in their 70s like but I don't feel like you have to be in your 70s to relate because we're all getting older, we're all questioning who we are in our present versus the past like but I mean that was something that I was like but your readership more of your readers are older because a lot of people aren't reading as much anymore. My
Well, there's
grandpa
a
he'll
lot of
just
young
plop
readers too.
down. Huh?
There's a lot of. I feel like there's a lot of young readers also
Do
because
you feel like
if you look
I
on
hope
TikTok,
so.
there's people that actually do book reviews on
That's true.
TikTok.
Bookstagram. But even I feel like most of the book talk people, I feel like are all like 35 plus.
Or they're
We're like the
dorks.
last
Or
generation
they're
of people
dorks,
that
right?
were yeah, we're
They're
the last
nerds.
generation that was like really but I guess like I mean I take we're actually tomorrow Tula and I are gonna go to the library. We're real like and she sometimes is not as much of a reader as I am. And she goes, were you when you were little, you just sat and read books? And I was like, yeah, I was an inside kid. I was just my book and my
Well,
cats, all I needed.
I think it goes this along the lines with music also because there's no there are physical copies, but they aren't at the mall anymore.
Yeah.
The-
Yeah.
Nobody
Well
goes to the
it's
mall
kind
to
of
get the new.
changed. Yeah.
Nobody goes to
Oh,
the
I
mall to
know.
get the new album. And nobody goes to the mall to Walden Books. We used to have Walden Books. I think it's Books a
Yes.
Million now. Nobody goes and gets a physical. I would much
So
rather
you'd go
have
to
a.
Sam Ash and you'd go to like, or
I
not
would
Sam
much
Ash,
rather
like
have
the
a
music.
physical copy, a hard copy of a James Patterson book, and sit and read it than I
Me
would
too.
have because it's a distraction if it's on my Mac or my phone. It's a
Yeah.
distraction because there's other things happening, notifications and crap like that. I think I've never had a Kindle, and I just don't have any desire to have
My
a Kindle
grandparents
because
love Kindle, but I
I mean I
can't
would
like
much rather read a physical book, a
me too.
physical hold in my hand book on the porch, and put my phone inside, and that way
Yes.
I can spend as
Yeah, I
much time
like
as
to
I want.
set my phone somewhere else and read my book. Otherwise, I'm constantly like, what's that notification? What's this and that? And think of music. Like, I loved going to the store and rifling through and like,
Hmm.
you didn't know this band had a CD or a cassette or whatever. And yeah,
I
I miss like those stores.
have a. So when I went up to his phone's still going crazy. I'm
I
about to
know,
throw it
I
out the
heard
window.
it.
I'm gonna throw it out the window here in a minute. Oh, it's the group chat. No, so I got this cassette of Last, which is the band I saw
Yes.
up in Greensburg recently from out in Salt Lake City. And the only reason I got it is because I have no cassette player whatsoever anywhere
Oh, we
anymore.
do. We have three
I'm
in this
sure.
house, I
Yeah,
think.
you're married to Dale, so you're gonna have
But
all
I
the.
even I had a whole bag full of cassettes when we met.
But I have this whole album on my computer, so I know without. But I wanted them to sign something. And I bought a shirt and everything, but I wanted them
Yeah.
to sign something, so I had them sign this. You can't see where they signed. Only I know where they signed on it,
Yeah.
but it's just it's I will buy things like that. I've bought CDs at shows, but they're still in the vacuum plastic that they came in.
Yeah.
because
Oh, just so you can
I
have.
would rather leave it like that because I don't have a CD player either anymore.
You
I
don't
don't
have
even
a CD? Oh my gosh.
no.
We're over here.
They don't put them in
Tallulah
cars
listens
anymore.
to cassettes.
They don't
Well,
even put
yeah,
them
I
in
guess.
cars anymore. So
See, the
at all.
car, I've been driving my grandma's car, and there's a CD player in that. And then the other car we have is an early 2000s, so it's cassettes only. And
Yeah.
yeah, Dale made Tallulah a mixtape because she had a Walkman, but she was so unfamiliar with she opened it a little too hard. So now it's not working. But she has a disc. We got her a Discman too. And she has a little like portable tape player because I had tons of cassettes from I still had them. And so I gave them to her. And
I mean,
yeah,
I saw a whole book full of when I DJ'd.
yes. Oh my God.
I
You
still
were
have
quite
my Trapper
amazing.
Keeper full of CDs, but they're all like scratched and stuff. But so she'll learn about the scratched
Yeah.
CDs.
That's the
But
only
yeah,
thing is I do like sometimes it is more convenient to have music on your phone. Like I'll take if I want to listen in the car, I will plug in my phone because it's easier, it's less. But yeah, carrying that giant thing of CDs in your car was a pain. If your car got
and
broken into,
you'd have
all
the
of them got
visor thing,
stolen.
but you'd have the visor
Yeah.
thing, the front and back of it, and then you'd have another
But
visor thing on the passenger
yep.
side.
And then you also had the book and then cassettes,
Yeah.
you had the little box that you would take with you. And it was just yeah, and if you and in your car, like in LA, your car would get broken into and somebody take all your CDs. It
Oh, that
sucks.
happens. That happens everywhere, not just California.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. So is there a date in March to look forward to this, or is it just March at this point?
March 25th, 2025.
All right, kids, in your phones,
Mark your calendars.
everybody, get your phones and your digital calendars out and make a reminder. I don't need to make a reminder because you'll remind me, right?
Yes, oh, I will. And you can,
I
yeah,
have enough
well, listen,
reminders already. But yeah,
and it will, there should be a pre-order that would be available probably like 2 months ahead of time. You don't want to do that though because you want a signed copy. So
I do want to sign.
but
Now, are you going
yeah.
to do like Are there? I'm sure there's local things because you live in a big city, of Nashville. So like, is there some like a bookstore you can go to and you know how they do like author signings or whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you going to do something like that?
Parnassus, where the author and Patchett owns that. Definitely that's the plan is to do like a book release party, which because in the book it's the whole silver golden anniversary thing. I want to do something kind of akin to that, where like a silver party. And then there will definitely be readings at local bookshops. But I'd like to tour. I mean, you tour as an author too, and so if you know of if any of the people listening, maybe they live in West Virginia, maybe they live elsewhere, if they have a favorite bookshop, like type it in the chat or send it to me and then I
Yeah.
can then I can visit that bookstore. What's the best bookstore in your area? What's my Shinsen bookstore?
Crickets, right? I don't know. I honestly, I don't even know what I don't. It's not Books a Million up there at the mall, but it was Walden Books for years. Maybe Dale. Well, he remembers Walden Books, I'm sure.
You'd
But
remember the old one probably. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what's up. It's something similar to that. It's something similar to Books a Million. What's the other
There's
one?
no indie bookstore. There must be. Morgantown, I'm sure, has like an indie bookstore.
I'm sure they do. Yeah,
That would probably be the spot.
that
But I
would be the
imagine I feel like
spot.
Clarksburg should or
You would think.
Fairmont might have a cute little indie
Now,
bookstore.
how does it work with libraries? How does that? How do you
Yeah,
get put
with
into
library,
library?
you would go and request like that the library carry it
Okay.
too.
Should
Because
I go?
probably for
Should I go to the library, local library, and be like, hey,
well,
listen?
and I can tell you if you request the other books from that same publisher, then maybe they'd be more apt to. So April Gloaming is the publisher. Poets and Writers did this awesome feature on them, and so that's who's publishing it. But yeah, any of their other books, maybe that would like garner some interest from the library. But the library, I don't know. My friend of mine's a librarian, but I don't know if they are just given automatic books as they're published, or if they have to request them, or what the deal. I'll ask my school librarian or my librarian friends and see like what the
See what
deal is for that.
Okay. I want
Yeah.
to pull something up here. Just give me a second. I hate trying to share other things here because I don't know what I'm doing. Imagine that, right?
Who does? None of us know what we're doing.
I'm just terrible with doing anything on here that I don't normally do. Let's see. I think it usually comes up where it's at. Let's see. That'd be one. So no. Okay, that'd be one. So we'll do that one. Okay. So hang on. Just talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Baron. So, listeners, viewers, what y'all doing?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good try. All right. I'm just gonna do it like this. So basically, okay. Can you see that?
There we go. That's
All right.
this Sunday.
All right. So
Come to
this.
Nashville.
Tell us what this is. Tell us what this is. Tell the folks what this is.
So a friend of mine Bobo's a restaurant, it's a Korean restaurant. And a friend of mine was like, "Hey, Bobo is looking to do these events on the board."
Bobo.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
And so she's
Bobo.
like, "Yes, Bobo." She was like, "So you should get in touch with them." So I did, and yeah, I got in touch with them and said, "Hey, I'd like to do an event." I said, "But I prefer doing events that merge." I typically all the events that I've coordinated in Nashville have usually been bands, readers, like so poets or fiction writers, comedians, sometimes visual art. I like a mixture. I feel I like a that approach to it. But this is just not just, but this is readers and then musicians. So you see, like, yes, for that first name there, Lisa Buber, she is a librarian. And then Robin and Lance are the actually the main people from April Gloaming. Like they founded, they're the founders, they are the facilitators, they are the ones who are making my book happen. And
Nice.
then Kashif here is a writer whom I have not met, but I've seen him host writers at our this big book festival we have every year. And
Okay.
so I'm really excited to hear what he has. And
Who
of
is
course, oh, you
who is
you know that
Ashley in Roth?
musician.
Who's that? Who's
That's
Ashley in?
me.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
me.
I
That's
just know you
right.
as
So
that.
yeah.
And
Yes,
who are the
AKA
other?
Beverly Trash. And then you
Who are
see
the other
Dale will
musicians?
be
I know Dale.
Dale.
Yeah.
No, Dale will be playing, and then Boy Mode is one of our chefs at the wedding.
Okay.
And then the last one, Spoken Nerds, is our good friend Nathan, who's the officiant at the wedding. But he,
Okay, I know
yeah,
both of those people.
he does like rock and roll rap. So
Hell yeah, that's what
yeah,
I'm
so
into.
you can come to Nashville 6 p.m.
I think I might have something going on then, but
Uh,
I don't know.
we'll record it for you.
It's a little
We'll try
short
to live
notice. A
stream.
little short notice. You know what I mean?
That's true. I
So
posted
this
a
is this
little.
is this in Nashville? This address here?
It is, yes. And actually I designed this flyer too. Are you impressed with my graphic
That's
design skills? Yeah.
good job.
Yeah, on all those wedding posters,
What's
I
with
designed
the
those like
cats? Why do the cats
uh,
have their legs crossed and reading books and things? My cat doesn't
aren't
do
they
any of that stuff.
amazing? So,
They-
full disclosure, so I'm like not a fan of AI, but I found this like AI generator thing, and so I typed in pop art
yeah,
cats, or I said cats music books, and that's what came up, and I was like, these are very interesting little creations. Yeah.
that's hilarious.
So that
My,
is
my
me
cat doesn't
dabbling
do
in
any of those
AI.
things. My cat doesn't not do any of those things.
No,
So.
and Mars don't either. Ours just walk around with a permanent life vest from his injury, but
Dale sent me that picture just now, and I meant to get that too because I knew about that.
oh yeah.
But I didn't. I didn't. Well, it was kind of a little bit short notice. Also,
I
sometimes I
know
have
we just
some
kind
more
of came
time,
up with it on the West
but it's
Virginia porch.
but it's fine. But I'm glad Dale was available to send me that because that really that
I'm
way
sure
you're
he's
able to-
watching right now. He's got a lot of,
He
hi
went kind of
honey.
silent in the chat, so I don't know what happened here with the chat, but my computer's is very behind for some reason.
Did
But
our viewers did they abandon
I
us when we talked about veganism?
no, I don't know. I'll let you know later.
Some people will watch later though. Some people will definitely watch
Hey Rob,
later. I'll have to.
Rob's back in the room. Hey Rob,
Oh,
next time you leave the room, take your phone with you or turn it on silent.
yes.
I lost viewers because of that. I should have answered it. He said.
Oh, well, we don't know who.
I can only do 6 things at once, Rob.
Seven's asking too much.
Yeah. So, all right, we're towards the end. I didn't do this at the beginning because I was just excited that you were on. But so I went and saw the Undertaking and God's Eyes, and the local opener was Death Program. They were very good. I'd love to talk to them on the show, and I gave them the card and stuff. So we'll see if they come on. We'll see if they bite. But God's Eyes gave me a sticker at the show, but they don't go up here until they're on the show. So that still sits over there. But they're not gonna they're on a very long tour. And the Undertaking is not doing the entire tour with them, but God's Eyes is playing a very long tour, and they're not going to be home till like the middle of August. So when you get home, just sit down and relax, and then get hold of me, So hopefully we'll get them on because they're freaking badass. And then I let's see, I went to Nashville to see you guys, and let's see what was next. Oh, went to Youngstown and saw Amplifiers, which is they were on a very early episode of the show, but then they came on again recently. But Dean, the guitar player, him and his wife moved to England, so that was his last show that I went to. So,
wow.
so I went and saw them, and the guitarist that is filling in for them until they get someone else, more permanently, is the original guitarist from Amplifiers that I've also had on the show when he was in another band called Jake the Hawk a long time ago. So like this, I was like, oh, I know you. I mean, so that was cool. So I did that, and then I went and saw The Undertaking in Akron. But Friday night I will be going to Pittsburgh again and back to Club Cafe. Club Cafes are it's smaller, but it's awesome. It's the venues. It's really nice. It's my friends in Three Leagues to Rome, really good guys that I've had on the show, and I went and saw them at the Hard Rock a couple months ago up in Pittsburgh. And then several bands that I've not met yet, but I would love to have on the show. Dream the Heavy, which we listened to at the beginning. And Fat Daddy, which I can't remember where these guys are from. I should have researched. I don't do any research for this show. I just kind of do it. And Black Ridge. Black Ridge is also playing. That's Friday night, 8:00 at Club Cafe. It's $12. $12 for 4 awesome bands. So if you're in the area, I'll see you there, I guess, right? And let's see, anything else I got? Oh, the 4-year show will be July 27th at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Woo!
There are several people, previous guests that I've talked to. Of course, you guys are welcome. You guys are welcome on any show you want to be on. You guys have like the ultimate VIP pass for
we
the
might
show.
do the whole family again. We'll come up with something real weird.
Don't do anything weird.
We're gonna do even weirder.
I can't wait. But yeah, it's always a good time. Last year there was several people on there that I didn't even think I'd have that many on. But the whole the Zoom screen was full of previous guests. It was great. It was great to do. We're planning on having Barefoot here. Barefoot's been on the show twice. Barefoot Colby. We're planning on having him do the intro live here. So we'll let you know.
I remember him.
Yeah, and Tracy will be catering behind the scenes, but I'm sure she'll be sitting on the set also. But let's see. Let me look at my. See, I'm very, very behind on my stuff here. It's just too hot outside to even think about anything,
I feel like I told that guy. He said the other day, he goes, "It feels like walking into a volcano," and I laughed about that for weeks.
It's worse than that. Okay,
like
so Stray Soul will be on Saturday. This Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, and we get to knock out Arkansas off the list of states that I haven't done yet. So Arkansas will be wiped on Saturday at 5 p.m. One of the guys is from Little Rock, Arkansas. The other guy is from Bloomington, Indiana. So we will talk to them. They're really cool. And then on the 17th, which I believe is next Wednesday. Is that right? Next Wednesday?
That sounds right, yeah.
Next Wednesday. Shallowtail. And Shallowtail is from like the... I usually ask for like a city and state, so I can put it in the bio. And so all I got was like the northwestern Washington State, and I've never done Washington State. So Washington State goes off the list of
one of my home states.
But I looked it up. You know how I Google Earth everything. So I Google Earthed it, and the Metho Valley of Washington State is where they're from, and it's near the Cascades. It's near the Canadian border. There's a lot of things.
Yes, beautiful.
So Shallowtail will be on the 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So tune in for that. Several things coming up here. That's all I got.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but Shallowtail is a little bit different than what I normally have. This show, this is a little bit different. It's usually like metal music or, I welcome all kinds of anybody creative. I just love talking about things. But Shallowtail is a different genre of music that I haven't had on in a while. Actually,
what's their genre?
I don't know. I sent it to Dale, and it's I think in their bio it said Indie-kana. So like it's
like Americana, but
it's Americana, but it's got a little bit of I hear some bluegrass in there.
Okay.
They have an album out called I can't remember everything. Sorry, Shallowtail. I know, I told you.
I know, I feel that.
It's called that's not it. Hang on a minute. It's right here. It's called the Shallowtail album that you should go get. I can't find it. Why is it not on there? I don't have it. It's just not coming up. Okay, but they have an album out basically. Shallowtail and the Kaleidoscope. You have to look up Shallowtail and the Kaleidoscope for the album to come up.
Shallowtail and the Kaleidoscope.
The Kaleidoscope. So it's basically two people, and and when they have a band, it's the Kaleidoscope. That's what I'm gathering from the bio.
Okay, that's cool.
So we'll find out everything on the 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Fabulous.
If you're on the West Coast, that would be.
Oh wait, so you said 7 p.m. so 4 p.m.
Put you on the spot, didn't I?
Yeah. Like right now, I did post. I hope for the West Coast, but the good thing about
4
your
p.m.
show is that even if you can't make it live, you can watch it later.
You can watch it, yes. And there is a I don't know how the live chat replay works, but I think it works like you can see who was chatting at what time.
Oh, fun! I'm gonna try to watch.
I don't know
I'm
if they
gonna
can
see who was saying stuff.
I'm pretty sure that they can't chat afterwards, but they can comment on the video.
Yeah, you can comment.
So,
remember when your mom was in the chat? Was your mom on this one?
She's never been in the chat. She doesn't know how to get in the chat. She still texts me on my phone.
I thought she was. Maybe she was just watching.
She used to text me on my phone when my phone was the camera.
That's what it was. Yes, yes.
I'm like, I don't see this until after I'm. Whatever.
Aw.
I love you, Mom.
Aw, she's amazing.
Well, you've never met her, so.
I just know she is. She's my bestie already.
She's cool. She likes you too, and I don't know if you guys met in a different life or what. I mean, like, what is happening?
We see we already were connected.
I didn't bring any of these down because there was no need to, because only certain people get these. But I launched the website at the beginning of the year. I changed the logo because the last logo I didn't own. I own this one. But when I launched the website, I wanted to do something like Patreon, but not through Patreon because you have to pay Patreon to use their service. Well, with the website, I had a guy make it for me, and I said, "Can you make me something like Patreon?" He's like, "Yeah." So I have different tiers if you'd like to subscribe to the show, and there's bonus content. There's so much bonus content that I can offer, but my mom is the only subscriber, and she didn't care, but she does have one of these stickers, which nobody else gets.
Ooh.
Nobody else gets these, and certain tiers will get a shirt with that similar.
Love
I haven't really run it yet, but it's I think it's $5, $15, and $25, and that's per month.
What if you're just like a long time guest?
What do you mean? Well, that I would have to make. I would have to put long time guest instead of supporter. You know what I mean?
You'd say I think one says Bev.
What it is you guys get freebies like temporary tattoos. I brought you to the wedding or somewhere. Yeah, so there's those. I did order a new batch of stickers. I can't remember if I got the circular ones or I got something. I get something different every time. But yeah, if you want to support the show on a monthly basis, but there's also a tip jar on there that I recently added.
Love it.
It's right at the top. As soon as you go on acutemanlive.com, it's right there at the top. I think it bounces or something. I did something with it. But if you just want to, if you have $1 in your pocket and you're just like, man, I can't make a phone call, I can't buy a packet of gum with this, but I can give it to Keep Me Alive, you know?
That's right.
It'll help. So if you want to do that, it's up there. It's completely optional. You can put custom amounts in there. Yes, tell everybody. I was one of these days, Joe Rogan's gonna be like, man, that Keep Me Alive guy, he's good, you know?
He'll be put in the tip jar.
Hopefully. I'll run him right out of the studio.
You should bring him on the show.
Okay.
Some of the he's a character. You should bring. Oh my God! What if you had a whole season of like these like famous hosts? Like you have Howard Stern and like that could be very interesting.
That would very interesting for sure because it'd be like in a dream, you know.
Or you have them all at the same time.
I'm just gonna let Murphy take over the show, and I'm gonna take like a 6-month vacation.
Oh, Murphy, he has the charisma. He's ready.
Yeah, he's on the floor asleep. He's definitely has the charisma.
Well, he's over it now.
No, I cannot. I don't know why I can't find that album because it's on. But see, you know, I had something on my phone. It's supposed to seamlessly go to my Mac, and it's not doing that. But where did that go? Oh, there it is. Electric Horse, right in front of me is where it was.
Electric Horse.
Electric Horse is the name of Swallowtail and the Kaleidoscope for the entire album. It's very interesting, and I can't wait to talk to them because it's very good. And they're the lead guy. Mind fart with the name and the lady. I'm terrible. This is horrible. I'll just start over. I'll just start over the next time. Anyway, they kind of started out together, and then now when they go out and play and they need a band, they have the Kaleidoscope. But they're award-winning musicians, so that's going to be awesome to talk to them about, you know, things that they've done and what the awards are for, and you know, so you'll have to tune in to find out because I don't even know.
Well,
I mean, I do, but I don't. For you right now, I don't. And then possibly, I forgot to mention this. Possibly tomorrow. I haven't got the info back yet, but we might be able to cross off another country tomorrow at 1 p.m. Okay, but since they're 7 hours ahead of the United States, so I talked to them late last night, and we kind of scheduled this last minute. But possibly tomorrow we might be able to take off Estonia.
Ooh, that's cool.
And I don't want to say the name yet because it's not scheduled yet.
Are they metal?
In a way, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because a lot of Estonia's got some metal bands.
Yeah, I don't want to say who it is yet because there's until I get their info, that's when I post. I can't post anything unless I have info. Yeah. So I haven't got the email yet. Nope. So yeah, you might see it. You might see it. You might not. But we'll still get them on because since it was last minute, we can still do it like next Wednesday. But they said either this Wednesday or next Wednesday, and I said let's just do it this Wednesday, But the time changed and they have things. Life happens. Dale taught me that. Yeah. Hey, people are busy. I remember him yelling at me. Life does happen. Yeah. So you will see that eventually. But hopefully tomorrow we'll see. But that'll be 1 p.m. Eastern since they're 7 hours ahead of us, and I got a really good co-host for that if it happens. And I'm sure he'll join us for the next time, but I'm still not going to say who it is until it happens. So, just save it for then, Anyway. Bev, Ashley, whatever your name is. It's been an honor having you as a guest.
Oh, thanks.
An honor.
I'm excited. And maybe I'll come back on in March after the book is officially out.
Gosh, I hope so.
I can, show it off.
And I'll hold up the book, the signed book and everything,
Yes.
We'll do that. All right. Well, you have a lovely evening, and I found this band last night on my how on Instagram on your stories you just kind of scroll through and so every once in a while you'll get it's like an ad, but it's a sponsored, and for me it's all bands, just bands. But I found this one last night and they're really good. I've gotten every single that they have up, but Paper Tiger is the one that I chose tonight. They're called Round One Fight, and it's an exclamation point so I can yell them too. I sent them a message to be on the show. We'll see if they bite. We'll get them on here. We'll get them on here for sure. Bev, thanks again. Tell Dale I said good night, and we'll talk to you when we talk to you, I guess, right?
Yes. Talk to you soon.
Here's Round One Fight with Paper Tiger, and I will see you maybe tomorrow at 1 p.m. If not, then I will see you Saturday at what time did I say? Saturday at 5 with Tracy. Saturday at 5, and then the other one's at 7. Yeah. Cool. All right, Bev. Thanks again. We'll see you.